It is July 20th, 1969, and man is about to land on the moon.
9 days before mankind landed on the moon, David Bowie released his first breakout single, Space Oddity. The song was inspired by 2001: A Space Odyssey, and the lyrics switch between two perspectives, Ground Control and Major Tom, an astronaut whose mission becomes increasingly abstract. But underneath the grandiosity of space, Bowie touches on very personal themes: isolation, marketing, and futility. So it's poetic that 40 years later, his son, Duncan Jones, explored those same themes in one of my favorite films, Moon.
Planet Earth is blue, and there's nothing I can do.
On the far side of the moon, Sam Bell supervises 4 harvesters that collect helium-3, which provides clean energy back on Earth. And he has 2 weeks left on a 3-year contract.
3 years is a long haul, you know, it's way too long.
It's a classic blue-collar science fiction premise, but it's hard to recommend it without giving away the plot. The opening focuses on the setting, a utilitarian base that has everything Sam needs: food, hobbies, exercise, entertainment, and a friendly robot named Gertie.
2 weeks to go, Sam.
2 weeks to go, buddy.
But are basic needs enough to get by? The live satellite is broken, so Sam's only human contact is through pre-recorded video messages from his wife Tess and his 3-year-old daughter Eve.
Astronaut.
Who's an astronaut?
And if we connect the numbers so far, Eve was born when Sam arrived on the moon, so he's never even seen his daughter in person. Sam lives over 200,000 miles away. I think that's a world record for long-distance relationships.
When I was writing the film, I was going through a long-distance relationship, and my girlfriend was on the other side of the world. And there's a lot of sort of natural human feelings that you have when you're in a long-distance relationship, sort of paranoia and, you know, just the difficulties of it that all played into the sense of isolation that Sam goes through.
Loneliness is a slow burn, and loved ones are reduced to pictures, dreams, and ghosts. And the messages are just placeholders for the real thing.
I love you. And I miss you. And I can't wait to see you.
But he's about to go home, so no problem, right? After crashing into one of the harvesters, Sam wakes up in the infirmary. He's got some memory loss, some physical atrophy, but overall he's as good as new. Not a scratch on him. But something's off. Gertie has a live conversation with the company's employers.
Sam, you're out of bed.
Yeah.
Sam doesn't understand why one of the harvesters is stalled.
Matthew's got no velocity readout. He's completely still.
And there's one lingering question. How did Sam ever get back to the base? Well, this is not Sam, per se. As a first-time viewer, we fill in the gaps. Sam crashes, Sam wakes up in the infirmary, and we assume those are connected. It's the power of editing. But the man who wakes up is actually a clone, and he finds Sam crashed in the rover.
You tell me who that is. You tell me who that is!
Sam Bell.
Yeah, it's a real mind fuck. It's a, you know, it's really like.
For the purposes of this video, I'm calling them Sam 1 and Sam 2. And to complicate things further, these characters are played by Sam Rockwell. He's a great actor, but, you know, I guess he's not that great. He's like a show dog, he just responds better if it's his own name. Moon makes the most of a micro-budget, and the unsung hero is the cloning effect.
I mean, it was absolutely terrifying because the film utterly depends on that effect working.
They used every trick in the book: split screen, motion control, face replacement, but the simplest effect is Sam Rockwell's performance.
Yeah! 19-2.
That's the film, the relationship between two versions of the same person, and how that changes your perception of yourself.
Because you have an image of yourself in your head, of what you're like. Could be Cary Grant, you know, it's not. And then you realize, no, I'm not Cary Grant. I'm this guy. I thought I was George Clooney. No, you're not. You're this guy.
I'm not a clone. I'm not a clone.
Once doubt is introduced, it's hard to accept Sam 1's individuality.
You're the clone.
Okay, Sam. We're not a clone.
Both characters share the same body, the same memories, the same wife and child, but they're separated by 3 years of experience. Sam 1 at the end and Sam 2 at the beginning. Sam 1 is relatively calmer, Sam 2 is more aggressive. Sam 1 crumples into himself, beaten down by isolation. Sam 2 has a disciplined posture, closer to his military background. And Sam 1's appearance is chaotic, whereas Sam 2's is perfectly organized. The filmmakers could have kept Sam 1's rugged hairstyle to differentiate the two, but that defeats the purpose.
You look just like me. It's incredible. Why do I look like you? Why don't you look like me? We look like each other, I guess. Hey, you know.
If you could really see yourself, would you love yourself? Hate yourself? I'm always afraid of regressing, of losing progress, physically, mentally, and Sam 1 gets to cringe at all of his past mistakes.
When do you get off? Fucking sitting there sulking like a little fucking boy. Jesus Christ. Wake up! He's very angry, you know?
Yeah, one's kind of character-y and one's kind of more leading man, you know? I don't know. I don't even know what a leading man is anymore, you know? My version of leading man is a little different than other people's, I think.
Sam 2 receives older messages that Sam 1 has already seen before, and Sam and Tess didn't always have a perfect marriage. The beginning of their long-distance relationship was full of insecurity.
I suppose there are things, you know, that needed to happen.
In fact, his temper pushed him onto the moon, which ironically saved their marriage. Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Just give me a second chance and promise her I'd change.
You have changed, Sam.
I'm real lonely, you know. I just want to shake your hand. Will you shake my hand?
Sam 2 is so standoffish that he doesn't even want to touch Sam 1.
Maybe later. High five.
However, to his credit, Sam 2 isn't blinded by the situation. He's not lovesick, or homesick, or physically sick. He can see the big picture because he hasn't been brainwashed for 3 years.
You know, you've been up here too long, man. You've lost your marbles. What do you think, Tess is back home waiting for you on the sofa in lingerie? What about the original Sam? Huh?
I'm the original Sam! I'm Sam fucking Bell!
Hey.
Me!
Whoa.
Me!
Sam 2 is convinced there's a secret room in the base because of how quickly he was activated, and he moves heaven and earth to find it.
Fuck!
But when he can't, he concentrates on something that means nothing to him and everything to Sam 1.
I want to look underneath that model. You're not touching this model. Get the fuck out of the way.
All of their tension escalates. And the first time Sam 1 touches anyone in 3 years is in a fight with himself.
Fuck me! What the fuck? I hardly touched you. Eye, man. Let me see. That's a lot of blood. Get off of me! No.
Today, we deliver enough clean-burning helium-3 to supply the energy needs of nearly 70% of the planet. Who'd have thought? All the energy we ever needed, right above our heads. The power of the moon. The power of our future.
The film opens with a commercial, and it's oddly pleasing. Happy stock footage, inspirational narration, and soothing piano. Because of the presentation, I'm enjoying what they're selling. But like most companies, their ethical shortcuts are swept under the rug.
It's a company, right? They have investors, they have shareholders, shit like that. What's cheaper, spending time and money training new personnel, or you just have a couple of spares here to do the job? It's the far side of the moon.
Sam 1 is, in fact, a clone, just like Sam 2, created solely for labor.
What about Tess? What about Eve?
They are memory implants, Sam. Uploaded, edited memories of the original Sam Bell.
The original Sam worked on the moon and then sold his DNA, his memories, and his personal messages. And why not? He took the money and ran, with no thoughts about the consequences. Underneath the base is a secret room, incubating dozens of dormant clones. Every drawer comes with the same prepackaged belongings, and this process has repeated for 15 years, so Sam 1 is actually the 5th version, and Sam 2 is the 6th version. This is the literal example of a common workplace philosophy: you are replaceable. We want to see ourselves as unique, but there are billions of people who can do exactly what you do.
We don't want you to take any unnecessary risks. You're too important to us.
Lunar Industries remains the #1 provider of clean energy worldwide due to the hard work of people like you.
So now the sugar-coated facade is abundantly condescending.
I wasn't supposed to... I'm trying to tell you something. Can you turn it...
Gertie's emojis are pacifiers. The name of the base, Sarang, is Korean for love. And I don't know if I buy this fusion power utopia. Scientifically, it's a real possibility.
If we could sift the lunar dust for helium, we'd have enough fuel to power the entire world for thousands of years. One more argument for establishing a moon base, if you weren't convinced already.
But politically, it sounds like a disaster. Who owns a celestial body? One business? That's just colonization for the new millennium. Regardless of what it does for the planet, it's the same industry mindset. Nothing is ever enough. It's a good thing there aren't any indigenous people on the moon, otherwise we'd have to kick them off and call it Manifest Destiny. After their fight, both Sams make up because they aren't enemies. They're victims of the same corporation. I've had arguments with coworkers and afterwards said, you know what, I'm not really mad at you, I'm mad that I have to be here.
I went haywire before, I lost it, and I'm sorry about that. It's okay.
So they work together to dismantle misinformation.
Gertie, have you heard anything new about anyone fixing lunar sat?
No, Sam. What I understand is it's fairly low on the company's priority list right now.
The satellite's fine. They don't want us to be able to contact Earth. They lied to us.
Satellite works. How are they blocking the live feed from down here? Everything works fine.
Both Sams drive in opposite directions past the base's perimeter, and they find towers blocking communication. Suppressing information is crucial for deception. Sam can't talk to anyone because that would ruin the trick.
How are things down there? You guys been to any good parties or anything?
Even his messages are edited when a date might be referenced.
It's her birthday next month. I was thinking about maybe a playhouse for the garden.
Gertie?
The original Sam agreed to certain conditions, but to keep the clones in the dark, those conditions changed. If they had all of the relevant information, they'd say, no thank you. Later in the film, Sam 1 drives past the jammers and speaks to Eve, who's now 15.
Could you call back? There's something wrong with the picture.
I'm trying to reach Tess Bell.
I'm sorry, she passed away some years ago.
Moon is designed to break down Sam's reality. Every revelation takes away his optimism. Being a clone is one thing, but losing his family, even if it was just a fantasy, is enough to crush his spirit. He'll never be naive again, and there's nothing he can do about it.
I want to go home.
But Lunar Industries still has one more gift.
Safe trip. 안녕히 계세요. And goodbye.
At the end of every 3-year cycle, the clones are told to get into a cryogenic pod so they can go home. But in reality, they're incinerated. And as a failsafe, each clone is cursed with a 3-year lifespan. Across the film, Sam 1 gets progressively sicker, headaches, hallucinations, and deterioration. And all of the previous clones exhibited the same symptoms.
My hair's falling out.
Although, just a nitpick, the film mixes up version and clone. If we divide Eve's age by 3, we know that Sam 1 is the 5th version, but technically the 4th clone. However, the box he came out of says 5, implying he's the 5th clone. It's possible one of the clones malfunctioned, but the video archives show 4 clones at the end of their life cycle.
Yeah, you think too much, pal. You need to get laid. I'm gonna go back to work.
Eventually, death is out of our control. A lifespan sounds cruel when you look at it like this, but we all have an expiration date, and it varies, and we never get a choice about it. Some people are taken sooner than others.
I'm really scared.
Sam 2 takes care of his friend, his brother, his fragile self, whatever you want to call him. It turns out they have a lot in common.
She was going back to Ireland.
They don't have a wife, they don't really have a daughter. All they have is each other.
High five.
Lunar Industries is sending a rescue ship to fix the broken harvester, expecting to find Sam 1 dead in the rover and Sam 2 in the base. Obviously that's a problem since both clones are awake at the same time. So here's the plan. Sam 1 escapes in the helium transport, which takes 3 days to reach Earth.
What if I have to take a shit? Yes, you'll have to hold it in, pal.
Sam 2 stays in the base, and he activates a 3rd clone, and he considers killing him and leaving him for the rescue crew to find. But if we've paid attention, we know that option isn't easy.
You're not gonna kill anybody. We can't kill anybody. You can't. I know you can't, because I can't. You go.
Sam 1's impending death simplifies the moral dilemma. He can't survive the trip. So, change of plans. Sam 1 goes into the rover, exactly where he's supposed to be. Sam 2 goes home, and Sam 3 wakes up none the wiser. Except, maybe Sam 2 can break the cycle on his way out. He destroys a jammer by redirecting one of the harvesters, so Sam 3 and every future clone will have access to the live feed. It's hard to say what's best for the clones once the damage is done. They might be happier being a dumb animal perpetually chasing the carrot. But once they know the truth, there's no going back.
We're not programmed. We're people. You understand?
Sam 1 dies. And Sam 2's fate is up in the air, no pun intended. He descends to Earth and he's met with controversy, implied by a barrage of radio chatter.
You know what? He's one of 2 things. He's a wacko or an illegal immigrant. Either way, they need to lock him up. Line 2.
Although in Mute, one of Duncan Jones's later films, we get a glimpse of the aftermath. All of the clones take the original Sam to court.
My name is Sam Bell.
So's mine! So's mine, pal! Shut the fuck up!
Sir, I understand the best.
Komm, ich zieh mir sowieso zu viel von der Scheiße rein.
I think if we heard about this story from an outsider's perspective, a lot of people wouldn't care. They're just clones, so what? But by experiencing this film, you know exactly what it means to step into someone else's shoes. Or space boots. As Major Tom says, the stars look very different today. I was on the fence about comparing David Bowie and Duncan Jones because I'm sure he's tired of living under that shadow. But if Moon is about anything, it's about individuality in spite of overwhelming, inescapable similarities.
I want to thank my dad, who was a huge influence on me growing up and had the patience to allow me to take the time to find out what I wanted to do, even though it took a hell of a long time.
Their lives aren't irrelevant, any more or less than yours. As tragic as the ending is, it's profoundly humanistic. You will die. Everyone dies, but this death will be yours.
That's it. Over and out. Rock and roll. God bless America.
And though I'm past 100,000 miles, I'm feeling very still. And I think my spaceship knows which way to go. Tell my wife I love her very much. She knows. Ground control to Major Tom, your circuit.